It's nice to meet you.
It's good to see you too. How was your Thanksgiving? Good?
Oh, it was fantastic. How was yours?
It was cold. I went
Oh,
back home, but now I'm
okay.
back in LA, so it's good. It's
Yeah,
good.
I'm in Los Angeles as well, so
Okay, cool.
yeah,
Yes.
it's
Yep.
much better to hear. It's much better to hear. Well, first off, I want to say congratulations on everything with the show and everything. I guess I always ask, this is always my first question for everyone who's voted off. How are you feeling after seeing the episode?
You know, that's such a great question. Thank you. I feel like the word gratitude is kind of sticking in my head, you know? Like this has been a dream for a long time. Like I started watching when I was 13 years old. I
Mhm.
started applying in 2019, 6 years of ghosting me, and I went to one of those casting open calls, you know? Stood in line with 500 other nerds that look like me. So I'm just really, yeah, did I want to win for my family? Yes. Yeah, I wanted to be the sole survivor. Yes. But all in all, I think that 13-year-old Jawan would be really proud of me for trying
Mm, that's nice. That's nice. Well, so like what do you think happened?
a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Break
to
it down for me.
my downside
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, is it okay if I pivot to something real quick?
Sure.
I feel like, for me, what's been on my heart this morning is I know that, you know, the optics of the jury right now and then the order of like black people going back to back. I just want to speak, I guess, my insight on that
Yeah.
and hold space for that too. Like I
Hmm.
feel like the people that are watching that maybe are uncomfortable with that, like I feel like those feelings are valid.
Totally.
And specifically with MC being hurt too, I think her feelings are valid. I think for me, most importantly, I think about my why, and my why is always my siblings. I wanted to win $1 million so they can have a safety net that I never had. I'm broke in LA, still trying my best.
Same.
So
Yeah.
yep, you understand the struggle. So this
Yeah.
is my one opportunity to try to, you know, to put them in a better space. So I just say that all that to say that, like, yeah, it does stink watching it, but my intentions, every decision I made um, was on scale with what's best for my family. So
Mhm.
I know that. I don't know what the question was, but I feel
Well,
like
no,
that was,
let's go back to that. Let's lean into that a little bit. So,
yeah.
like, there is, one of the things that I find so fascinating about reality television is the power of reality television, both to have big conversations and to show diverse ranges of people. And oftentimes, I mean, I'm from Missouri originally, and I come from a community that's pretty white, and so there's not a lot of diversity that I saw at least in my everyday life. And a lot of times, reality television, particularly shows like Survivor, being the biggest reality show on television, is the example for diversity that is often missed in our communities. And so, I guess, I mean, I want to just ask you to expand a little bit more on sort of, you know, the minority experience on a show like this.
Mhm.
Sure, navigating the game, that's a part of it, but also the public perception of it is a different thing too. And the way people communicate, fans of the show communicate with you sometimes can be different from how they communicate with other cast members who are white. So I want to
Yeah.
know, what has your experience been, and how do you feel about sort of the conversation that you're seeing online?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like that's such a great question. As a super fan, as someone that was chronically online, I was in the Reddit threads, I was on Instagram in the DMs, like I was there. So now to be on the other side of it, yeah, it can hurt sometimes seeing people like what they say, but um, all in all, I think Survivor is a reality show that can bring up these hard conversations. So yeah, it has been tough, but one of the things that I've learned and taken away from the show is like my identity as a black man and like, what like because at first, just being real with you, I left the game being like, dang, am I a bad human being? Like, am I wrong for like wanting to win money for my family and how I did it? But I'm learning through therapy and some time away from the show to be like, okay, maybe two things can be true, like I can
Yeah.
still represent for my community and also play for my family. So that's where I'm at.
Well, yeah, because I mean, you aren't a monolith. You aren't everything that may, I mean, I'm a gay man living in Los Angeles. So like I know I don't represent every gay dude in the world. I know my views don't represent every gay dude in the world, just like your views or who you are doesn't represent every black person watching Survivor. Everyone's different.
Yeah.
That said, there
Mhm.
is that as a minority. I think a lot of, I
Yeah.
think women, I think gay people, I think people of
Mhm.
color, I think everyone can experience, especially on a show like Survivor, that tug and pull between representing how the world's going to see you and the community in which you love so much, but
Yeah.
also maintaining your identity as a human being, regardless of the thing that makes you the so and so this minority. You know what I mean?
100%. And for me, like I know I got four knuckleheads watching every move I make. And even doing these interviews, I'm nervous because I'm like, how do I respond to like if the world doesn't like you, you know? Like how do I like what legacy do I leave for them too? So yeah, it's definitely something I thought about on the island. And even I'm still processing it now. So yeah,
For
thank you for
sure.
this time to just kind of unpack that with you.
Of
I
course,
appreciate
yeah. Well,
it. Thank you.
so let's talk a little bit about the game and
Yeah.
sort of how overall, where do you think your game went south because of and ultimately got you voted off?
Yeah, so I think, I had a nice little arc. I was bad in the beginning. I was not socially aware until Sage kind of gave me the bat to a Raven moment. Like I had a vision, like, oh, I'm a clown. The first couple episodes, they're gonna be roasting me.
Yeah.
So I'm so grateful that like Sage kind of like brought me underneath her wing and like, hey, I'm here for you. I got you. I think it slowly went down at the Nate vote, surprisingly. Like
Mm,
I wish, one of my flaws is sometimes I'm not as confident in myself
mm,
and I let outside voices kind of influence my decisions.
mhm,
So for that vote, I was like, Rizzo needs to go. Rizzo needs to go. Like this is
yeah.
my one time camouflage. He will not see this coming. We
Mhm,
need to get him here. But I think ultimately the louder voices for that vote was Alex and Christina, who wanted to, it makes sense, do the safe vote on that vote. But I
yeah.
think by not taking a shot there, we go to the split vote with me, MC, Sage, Sophie, and Rizzo. And I'm like, I just blindsided him. And MC played Idol last week. Odds are another one might fly tonight. So I think that influenced just the game moving forward.
Hmm. Well, and Rizzo's been a big topic of conversation just because a lot of I mean, obviously the past few episodes, like there's been a lot of focus on trying to get Rizzo out in a way. And so what is it? How does how is Rizzo so Teflon? But also, what is it about the strategy that do you think is not working in taking Rizzo out?
Yeah, that's such a great question. I think, we're in an interesting stage in Survivor, like the meta, like season 46, people were left and right with their idols in their pockets. And I
Hmm.
like it's interesting how much prior seasons influence other seasons. So I think, maybe since 46, we've been prompted, like, if you have it, play it. So everyone's working with that knowledge. But all it takes is one person to be like, well, if they think I'm gonna play it, what if I don't play it? You know?
Hmm.
So I think that it's really like it's ahead of the meta in a weird strategic way.
Hmm.
So to give them some flowers there for that.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
uh, but I think it just every vote for me was situational. So like with the MC vote, I was um it hurt. It really hurt that I couldn't do better and like protect her for that vote. But
Hmm.
I just scared it was me or Sage who just saved me on the Shannon boot. So my goal was just to get out alive, you know? And
Hmm.
then with the Alex vote, which was very tricky, and I did want Rizzo gone at the final nine.
Hmm.
But ultimately, I had a conversation with Christina after MC left. That was tough.
Hmm.
And I was like, hey, I want to let you know the real plan before Savannah comes up on that boat and changes everything. It would have been Rizzo and we would have flushed the idol. I was like, please don't tell nobody. So tell me how when I wake up in the morning, Rizzo comes to me, whether this is a lie or not. He was just like, hey, so you were going to target me last night? I said, who told you that? He said, Alex. I was like, Alex told you. I was like, okay. So I go double back and talk to Alex. This doesn't make the air, but we're by the water well. I'm like, bro, you told Rizzo the plan. Why'd you do that? He was like, bro, I swear I did not do it. I didn't do it. And then he says something that makes me a little suspicious of him. He was like, hey, Jawan, everyone's saying your name. I was like, who's everyone? And he was like, I can't tell you, bro. I'm sorry. Trust me, you're just such a good game player. You're nice. So in my head, I was like, whoa, I stepped back a little bit and I was like, dang, Alex is such a good game player. And he was well positioned. He was talking to everybody. So
Hmm.
I go talk to Sage, and then we step back and we weigh our options. I think as an audience member, you're like, what the heck is wrong with y'all? Why would
Mm-hmm.
you even consider Rizzo over or consider Alex over Rizzo? But
Mm-hmm.
what we don't know is we don't know Blue Sophie has knowledge is power. We don't
Mm-hmm.
know about Savannah's extra vote. We don't even know that Yellow Sophie is already gone.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought that, the Sage and her bond were strong enough to keep us as a six, but we
Yeah.
didn't realize it was really a 4 versus 5 there.
Yeah.
And I think if we have all that information, we move different. So
Totally.
hopefully that
Totally.
gives insight.
Yeah. So my last question then for you is, considering everything, you've seen everything, you're seeing where everything is in the game, who or what group of people are you rooting to go all the way?
Yeah, man. I think I'm just biased. You know me, I'm biased to the person that kept me, from going pre-merge and then Sage, and I have a lot of love for her and just unique. I just never thought that I would be best friends with, someone as awesome as that. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
also rooting for Steven. I hope Steven gets some flowers too. He was really just a lovable dude to be around. And I kind of, even though she got me, I kind of like Yellow Sophie too. Like I
Yeah.
kind of feel like the edit did her dirty because
Mhm.
as much as she got me out, I think that she was a force out there too. So I
Yeah, for
guess I'm
sure.
just biased.
For sure. Well, it was lovely chatting with you. Thank you again.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Awesome. Have a good one.